If you're thinking about starting a real estate photography business in 2024, you definitely want to watch this video first because I'm going to talk about whether it's a good time or a bad time and some things you might want to know going into this. And we're going to start with the overall real estate market. Now, generally, we're in what's referred to as a seller's market. That means you have the advantage as a seller because there's not a whole lot of outstanding inventory, meaning buyers are still somewhat fighting for homes. That has become more towards the middle lately though, and the middle is where we want to be as real estate photographers. We don't really want it to be a crazy buyer's market where homes are sitting on the market forever, and we don't really want it to be where homes are selling instantly. Somewhere in the middle is good, and right now we're getting closer to that middle ground. On average in the US, there's about 3 months of inventory in the overall housing market, which is getting closer to the 4 to 5 months that most people consider sort of a balanced market. So from an overall market perspective, we're kind of where we want things to be as real estate photographers this year. That being said, it doesn't really matter. Like if it's a really strong buyer's market, what that means is there's a lot of homes on the market, and so the buyers get their pick, it's their advantage. That's more opportunity for us as real estate photographers because we can do more media because agents need a way to make their listings stand apart. So in that case, we usually do less listings because it's not a great time to sell, so less people list, right? But we get a higher average order value. And the other side is also true. If it's a strong seller's market, yeah, they might not have those super high average order values because they're basically going to sell the house either way, but they still order photos, and usually there's more listings because it's a good time for people to sell. Now that always balances out, and that's not always true. The thing that I would really encourage you to keep in mind if you're someone who's really trying to time the market on this is there's never a bad time to start a good business, and there's never a good time to start a bad business. That's a quote I absolutely love. And so from my perspective, as someone who's owned a real estate media company for 11 years now, it doesn't really matter for us whether it's a buyer or a seller's market or a good market or a bad market, depending on how you define that. Like my business has consistently grown year over year despite the market conditions. And so if you're considering starting, I wouldn't let the market weigh into your decision making too much. That being said, there's one aspect of the market that really makes a difference, and that is the market for real estate photography. Over the last 20 years, the way houses are sold has completely changed, and that's what's created such good opportunity for us as real estate photographers. So going back 20 years, when someone wanted to buy a house, and those of you that bought a house 20 years plus ago will know this, what you would do is step one, you would go find a real estate agent. And you would tell that real estate agent, hey, I want a 2-bedroom house in this area and this is my budget. And then they'd take that information you gave them and they would go look at the available listings. And a lot of times this was kept in books in their brokerage or in spreadsheets or whatever, right? It wasn't on the internet. And so they were the gatekeeper of you knowing what was for sale. You had to go to a real estate agent. Then they would say, hey, here's the listings I found that match your criteria. You would go tour a bunch of properties and then you would pick one you like. Well, as you know now, it's done completely differently. In the past, step one was go to a real estate agent. Now, step one for 99% of the population is going to a site like Zillow or Realtor.com and looking for a house. And then when you find a house you like, you usually go, who's the agent listing this? Let me call them. Sometimes you may have an existing relationship with a realtor, but even then, most people's first move is to find houses that they like online. And how do they know they like a house online? Well, they look at the pictures. And that big switch in the real estate industry, it's not overnight, it's over the last 20 years, more and more agents use real estate photographers, has created the market today for real estate photography. And that's why I think it's such an awesome time to own a real estate photography business. Because if you're looking at overall value in the marketplace, we do a lot as real estate photographers. We take great photos and videos, and that's what makes a buyer initially interested in a house online. And here's the other thing that's very true. A lot of times when you find a house you like on Zillow, you contact the agent, you don't end up buying that house, but you probably do end up buying some house. And so that agent not only can create exposure for their listing by putting it online and hopefully sell that listing, but they get a bunch of leads that they can help on the buyer side find another house. And so for both sides of the equation, it is a really, really good thing for real estate photographers. Agents hire us because we help them achieve something that they want to achieve, which is finding more buyer leads and selling more homes. They need to network and find people who are buying and selling. They need to actually sell the homes. And so because of that, the real estate photography market has absolutely exploded. And the cool thing is, and this is what makes it such a great opportunity in my opinion, is there are more homes that need to be shot than qualified real estate photographers to shoot them, at least in most markets. So when you win real estate agents, a lot of time you're not even taking that client. You don't even have to compete with another photography company, right? You're just getting a new client in the market. And there's always photographers, retiring or changing industry or different things like that. And so overall, the market shift has created so much opportunity for real estate photographers, but I'm not talking about the actual home sale market. I'm talking about the way real estate is sold over the last 2 decades. So that's the market side of things. Now, there are some things you need to do in 2024 if you want to be successful with your real estate photography business. And number one is you need to do things right as a photographer. There has really become an industry standard for what's acceptable as a real estate photographer, meaning what your images should look like, what agents want to see in real estate videos, what 3D tour platform to use. And so what I highly encourage you to do if you're starting your business in 2024 is make sure that what you're doing meets that standard, because you have no way to win clients if your photos are subpar or they're not the look that agents are looking for. And then once you nail that down, you also need to make sure to be a one-stop shop. You can't just offer photos as a real estate photographer in 2024. In fact, we call ourselves a real estate media company because we offer photos, videos, and 3D tours, and there's some subcategories of each of those: drone photos, floor plans, everything like that. Now, the good news is none of these services are really complex or hard to learn. And I know that for a fact because when we hire new photographers at my business, we train them on all of our services on average in about 2 or 3 weeks. So it doesn't take forever to learn this. You just need to know it to be able to offer all that to be competitive as a one-stop shop. Now, I'm not saying you can't get started with just photos, but if you really want to scale this business and make it something where you're making 8, 10, 12, 15K a month as a solo photographer, you're going to have to offer all these services. The other thing you really need to know to do things right in 2024 is you need to have a system that allows real estate agents to book online, download their photos, pay invoices, property websites, everything all in one. The other thing you need to have in place in 2024 to really do it right and be able to get clients as a real estate photographer is a good back-end business management system. This would be all your invoicing, your delivery, your property websites, everything like that, online ordering that agents absolutely love. There are a bunch of softwares out there, and highly recommend you have one in place that will get the job done for you. If you want help with that and help with everything that is involved with setting up your business, there's a link below where you can talk to my team about coaching. It's really an accelerator program where we give you all the tools, all the software, help you set it up, everything like that, and get your business launched. So if you want to talk about that with my team, click the link below. Not a high pressure sales conversation. They'll simply talk about what it could be in your market and what it would look like. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is things that we see a lot of people doing wrong in 2024 that really stops them from building their business properly. And number one is focusing so much on photo quality in a way that doesn't matter. So earlier in the video, I talked about how there is an industry standard. If you're trying to push the limit of that and try to get a couple % better photo quality, or you're really worried about the gear and you're really absorbed in that, you will simply not make money as a photographer. So my biggest tip, if you want to start a business in 2024, not a hobby, not a way you're creating art, if your goal is to start a business, you really need to know how to get clients. And so I'd encourage you to spend a lot of time researching that. We use a strategy called the Instagram method that you can learn more about in the workshop link below. We've tested almost everything at my photo business and with our hundreds of coaching clients, and we've just found that to be the overall most effective way to do it. So if you don't know what that is, watch the workshop below. But my overall encouragement here is to really double down on getting clients. There's a quote I like, which is, without clients, you don't have a company. And that is absolutely true. There are so many broke photographers out there. The phrase "the starving artist" exists for a reason, and that reason is that most photographers are that artist type. They focus on that side of their business, which is important, but without the client acquisition side, you're never gonna build a sustainable business that's able to grow and hopefully become a real business where it's not dependent on you. I think one of the most awesome things about real estate photography is that it's scalable. Like, you don't see a lot of big wedding or portrait or event photography companies. You do kind of in school portraits, but the only other place you see that is real estate photography. I personally know dozens, if not 100+ photographers who have scaled photo businesses with employees, in some cases more than 20 photographers working for them. And that's awesome, because while that might not matter to you now, when you're first starting your business, things change. You'll move the goalpost. Maybe at first you just want to make $7,000 a month in your own business as a photographer doing something you love, but when you get to 10 or 15, you might be thinking, hey, it'd be nice to not have to shoot as much and it'd be cool to still get my income to go up. Let me hire somebody. Maybe you have a friend you've always wanted to work with, or you just want to create a job in your community. Whatever it looks like, you can scale your business, and that's the awesome thing about real estate photography. So if you are considering starting a business in 2024, I would encourage you to think about what I just said, but also really remember the quote, which is, there's never a bad time to start a good business and never a good time to start a bad business. But going a little bit deeper, just from my experience working with people as they launch their business, the ones that were successful and that actually build a photo business, it wasn't that they had things easier than most people. Yeah, some do, but some don't. The things that they did, the thing really that they did that set them apart is, while it didn't feel like perfect timing for them to start their business, they did it anyway. I think a really sad thing that happens is a lot of people are like, oh, I'm just too busy right now, or oh, I can't do that right now. And that's how your life will probably always be. There's always gonna be some reason it's not the perfect timing. So if you're waiting for the perfect opportunity, in my opinion, it's probably not gonna happen, or at least it's not gonna happen for very many of you. And so you have to take that scary step. You have to dive all in, get your business started, and just make it happen. And we'd absolutely love to help you do that in coaching. We've coached hundreds of students through this process. We have it down to an absolute T, and we'd love to talk to you about what that specifically would look like in your market. So check out the application link below, talk with my team. We have a team of 18 here at Real Estate Photographer Pro, only dedicated to helping you build your photography business. That's not my team at Norman & Young, my real estate photography business. That is just my team here on the coaching side. So we'd love to work with you, and I'll see you in the next video.